What's going on, gamers? So we got a lot of drama going on with this Xbox Game Pass and 300 million losses. We know I did my video last night if you guys haven't checked that out. And Bobby Kotick being brought up on a lot of threads. And then I see Destin's thread right here, which is actually pretty interesting. So I want to remind people of something that I told people about even as far as back almost 8 months ago. And it's about what I said, what Kotick said, and how he was right about some things, but I also stated in some of those videos that, he's definitely not a good person. So we know what was going on up in there, right? And Destin's post is very accurate, which we're going to get to in a second. But just to give you guys an idea, if you do Bobby Kotick interview Game Pass, you'll see me right here. Xbox Game Pass was denied by Bobby Kotick. He told Microsoft, "You have no creativity. Why are you in gaming?" That was 2 months ago that I wanted to update for people to let them know that I've done that before. Going down here, 7 months ago, AGN 1.8K. Xbox brand got told by EX Activision lead Kotick to quit gaming. They have no creativity. And that's why I was like, COD Factor guys, not talking about creativity. Though he was a good businessman and he did have Activision in the right place, but from a moral standpoint, from a human standpoint, yeah, it couldn't work. So there had to be some sort of change, which we're about to get to in a second. And I have one of those videos up they're going to get to because it's going to cover some things here about how all this situation plays out and how it gets interesting. Because now we do need to backtrack since the 300 million loss is something that people want some answers to. These people seriously think that if Kotick had stayed in charge of Activision Blizzard, there had been no layoffs, no price hikes, and everyone would be getting record bonuses in 2025. Yeah, that would not be happening. Would it be successful? Yes, but would they all be in healthy states? No. They would just be factories. Not that Microsoft is some white horse to swoop in like we thought they were going to be, because in that situation, it was like, this is so disgusting finding out some of that stuff that somebody has to do something, and they were the only ones that I guess fit that. So at that moment, it's kind of hard to say that you didn't choose that, because that's what everybody kind of wanted. And I did as well. And I said I wanted the Activision deal to go through to Microsoft against Sony. At that time, I did want that. If they would have done certain things that I wanted, did I doubt it at the same time? Yes. But was I still positive about it? Yes. Obviously, there's some regrets for that. So, yeah, Destin over here says, truly we missed out on a utopia for gaming. This guy allegedly threatened to have an assistant killed. I remember that. Suppressed reports of harassment. Yeah, he was sitting on it for a long time. Sued by California. Fired hundreds of employees while paying himself over 150 million, which is insane. But sure, if only he stayed in charge, everything would be fine. No, you had to get that devil out. Then he flew off on a parachute and got even more. So yeah, no, nobody good at all. But does he know what he's talking about? Yes, he does. So let's get ready to take a look at this. You guys ready? Here's where I fast forwarded to in my video. If you guys want to fully watch it, you can. But we're going to get some highlights here about what he said and about what he means, starting with AI. Now, he knew about this too. Let's go.
And they had 200,000 amazingly talented people. And I thought, like, we'll get them because we're like the fun part of the business. We couldn't. We still can't figure out how to, it's not even a we, it's like, they don't seem like
Microsoft Gaming, you're saying?
Well, like for Activision Blizzard right. Within gaming at Microsoft, they haven't been able to tap into the talent.
Yeah, it's kind of
any of it.
It's kind of a 20-year history of kind of empires.
So you hear what he's saying about the struggle for AI. Even at that time when they joined, he realized what they were trying to do, that vision they were pushing, and where everything is going. You see what he's saying about the struggle for AI, and now you see the major focus on AI going on. This is why this segment right here is important. There's a lot more coming that's even more important. It gets interesting, but we kind of get the idea here. And I've been off the camera because we're seeing this, but you guys know this is important though.
Then the company that don't cross over.
Yeah, because it's not business units. It's matrix, like they're product units.
Yeah. Yes.
The whole business is this funky matrix. And I guess, it works, obviously.
That's what I've been telling people with the agents and all that. Yep.
It's just not very resilient to change.
But also, like, crossing the divide into gaming, like, it's just not easy to do.
Nope.
And I was really worried that not just that the business model was going to get attacked, which that's obvious. And like that was the only disagreement. We got the deal done in 3 days.
Okay. You hear him talking about business model being attacked. He's talking about Game Pass. He doesn't agree with it.
And the only disagreement we had over like the future of the operation of the business was Game Pass.
Here we go, y'all.
And I said to them, like,
Game Pass is up one price for all subscription of otherwise $60 game.
And y'all know that we were all for Game Pass before this price hike. But what Kotek was saying was the future of it, the loss of money that they've been hiding from you. See, you were for that. Remember when I said they're always hiding things? They're not telling you the truth. Even months ago when people thought I was attacking Game Pass, why would I do that? No, I'm attacking the lies. And everything I've been doing, yeah, people were seeing now.
Games
You're
Or
saying an unlimited subscription from
from Microsoft.
Microsoft for any game.
yeah, and my view is like we have a game called World of Warcraft that we have $15 a month. If you
for one game.
yeah, why would I
Right.
put that into a Game Pass?
Right.
Yeah, where it's like with Spotify, where suddenly you get,
So you know automatically there was a lot of fighting and arguing going on between Bobby Kotick, Phil Spencer, Satya and all them about probably that. It doesn't necessarily have to mean like bad, but just more like Bobby Kotick's like, no, like I'm not with that. And that was a big thing for Microsoft at that time to push. And it still is in a lot of ways. So we see that right now. That is never going to be an agreement. From his point of view, it's insane. Let's keep going.
50 cents a month.
Right.
And I
For the best.
yeah, and I said to these guys, like, it's why trade out flexible business models where you can do what's actually in the best interest of the customer. You look at like Candy Crush, Candy Crush, we only monetize
It's a
2%
flexible
of the
monetization
audience.
model.
And it's, and when we added ads, we added another $400 million of operating income.
Did you see what he just said? This is what just happened in cloud gaming. What's been on your dashboard since Activision joined in. I'm trying to show you guys something. Kotick knew about all this. Everything that's happening right now, oh yeah, they knew that was coming. Same thing with Mike Ibarra and all of them. Pete Hines, there's a reason why they left. Now you're seeing it all kind of play out now. Since it was kind of like, in the back a lot. Like people used to say PlayStation hides secrets. I'm like, no, trust me, Microsoft does too. All the time. You never get your numbers. I mean, for a reason though, because it's not looking good. But all this stuff is coming out. And like I said, this guy, he knows how to run a business though. When it comes to that, he's right. But other than that, from a human standpoint, Howard.
2 years. Like why would you
See, the thing with Kotick is he's all about that business and that profit and really winning at the game. Look at what he got Call of Duty selling yearly. That's what he's looking at. And remember, it's always people that have very huge successful franchises and know how to be at the top, make billions of dollars every year, and have World of Warcraft income coming in as well. To him, it's insane. Game Pass is insane, right? Just like the Baldur's Gate dev would say the same thing. But like I said, when it comes to winning models, they're always going to say that. So it's not like he's wrong, but we need to understand why he's saying that. But it gets even more interesting. There's more stories coming up. Let's keep going, guys.
and like
And why would you give it all away for one price?
you wouldn't. And also
No,
I
nobody
really
would.
like I was so sold
Microsoft just has a lot of money.
this is a funny thing with Iwata before he died. He used to say, what do you think about free to play game? And I was like, Iwata-san, free to start.
That's
That's actually pretty good. He's right, because after that, here comes a whole bunch of paywalls. You don't get the whole game. And that's interesting. So him and Iwata got to hang out. Interesting.
good. I haven't heard that. I think free-to-play mobile games now average about 25 cents an hour. So,
Yeah.
in World of Warcraft, last I heard, was about 19 cents an hour. So,
Like 26. But there's like
Funny how they
believe
track
in
that.
And but the beauty of your Microsoft is like you can take that bet.
Correct. Yeah.
And so far from what I tried to I look at what happened at Disney, and when you do these things, you got Phil Spencer's a great guy. This is probably not a wise.
Here we go.
he's the Microsoft Games leader.
So I hired Phil
Here we
to
go.
come run one of our business
Oh, I
units.
didn't know that.
And he calls me up and he said, they just offered me the head of Xbox. And I said, dude,
Take it.
you know what? I want you here and I would love to have you here, but that's your dream job. And so go do it. But I was ready to hire him to come probably be my successor. And, so that was an easy part of doing this deal too. It was I knew the guy.
So you guys heard that, right? He wanted to hire him to be the successor, but Phil Spencer went to be the head of Xbox because he got offered that. We're getting a lot of interesting stuff out here. And you see the story of what KOTICK is telling you. We got that all right there. I know you guys are listening to that. So that's why I wanted to do this video real quick, because it gives you the full story of Activision and Microsoft as well before things fully got in sync and before KOTICK left. And he's telling you stories as well. Let's continue. We're almost done.
And I thought he'd be a good
Steward.
really good steward.
This is where he tells Satya
and so
something important.
So far, what I've heard is they haven't really changed too much, and there's no corporate infrastructure anymore. So it's back to like all studios, and people seem pretty happy. I mean, that's what I hear.
I'm a Microsoft fan since the 80s because of PC clones. Wintel was your friend if you were a gamer.
Yeah, well, I remember Satya's first day. I happened to be up there, and we had like a half an hour together, and he said, "What can you tell me about gaming?" And I was like, "Dude, you shouldn't be in gaming.
See?
You're not a creative company. Like, you should buy Workday or something, like
Meta.
SAP."
Oof. But I think KOTICK was telling him the truth about that. If you're an Xbox gamer, I think you understand what KOTICK means. Because he understands the gaming industry. He's been in there. He made it successful. He said, Nadella coming in there, you don't have the AI figured out. Let's think about this, guys, at the beginning of the video. I don't think you should do that. It's not going to be a flexible, profitable model. And then they had to go to PC, and then they had to go to PlayStation. KOTICK was right, even though I don't respect him as a human being, but when it comes to running a business, he knows what he's talking about. He was in disagreement with Nadella interfering in gaming. But he respects everything about him outside of that. And I think a lot of people feel the same way. We've been talking about this for a while. Yeah. Interesting stuff here, isn't it? Let's continue and finish this off.
Like, this is not a creative DNA company.
No.
And
they have no creativity.
And when he called to do the deal, I said the same thing to him. Like, you need us because you're not going to figure out gaming with what you have. But
he's right. Guys, I'm not laughing at Microsoft. I'm just laughing at KOTICK because now I'm laughing at Microsoft. Yes, funny. He's being real with them though. Not the Xbox. You see what he just said? That's why I told you too. They had to haggle to get him out. He was not with any of that. We see this now. We really know what was going on at Activision. And I think his vision, I'm telling you, he knew it. He saw it. Like, though he had to leave regardless, but he still saw the truth as he was leaving. If you're not surprised with people like that. And to pull people with him away too that did not agree with that. And I knew eventually there was going to be some shakeups to a certain extent.
Is this really the priority? And he said, we really like this. And I can't tell you the other thing that I pitched him because it was confidential, but I had an idea that was a bigger idea, and he didn't want to go for that. But he liked this idea. And
$80 billion is still bite-sized.
It's not even consequential to the financials.
It's crazy.
I always figured anything under 5% of your enterprise value is kind of a whim and an experiment.
But you know what? I would have been okay with Meta. I would have been okay with Amazon. Like any place where there's talent.
Right.
And I didn't think...
Talent and a platform. It's nice to be connected to a platform.
And that goes without saying. But like talent to me was like something that was so important. And I also like founders. Satya is unusual as a CEO because he has founder mentality.
Oh,
and that's a very hard thing to find in a professional
teamwork mentality, which is pretty different from how
Yeah, it is very different.
So we get the idea here of what they're saying. Like, he respects him, but when it comes to gaming, we see KOTICK was right, though he had to leave too. So yeah, I mean, there's not much else you could do about that regarding back to Destin's post and people thinking, would it be better or could Activision have sold to somebody else? Well, who has that type of money? So Sony? I don't know. Well, you guys let me know what you think. So there it is. Yeah, it's always something interesting to take a look back as more time passes to see what KOTICK says and more of his words ring true, though we know what we know. So let me know what you guys think about this. Just more stuff to get out here. it's an interesting topic when it comes to Game Pass. So that goes all the way back to that moment, and now we get an understanding of some roots at that time, the meetings at that time, and who's behind this. As I've been telling people, it's Satya, not Phil. Or you thinking it's Sarah? But it's like, no, they don't have that type of overriding power. It's what he wants. So they're just kind of like scapegoats at this moment. All right, y'all. Peace out. Have a great day. Later.